Hi dear viewers, in the follow-up to the practical projects course, now we have arrived to a point of no return. The next project, which is called a speaker, which is an application that works within the psychology and psychoanalysis fields. And as you see here on the main page of this application, we uh, we have a series of items including a slider. We have the EST sounds. We have new list where you can see the news list, and finally the menu bar that you see down there, and the play button that you see here. And by clicking we can have any of these items included in our project played out for ourselves. There are different pages we are going to work with and design and apply the more applicable pages. At first I am going to design the main page. Let you see here, and I am trying to do it with a bit of different coloration and sense of coloring and design it. Okay, I start the job. First I make a copy from the layers of this page, the items that I don't need, and just this item. Okay, this item is left behind on this project. I copy and paste it. Alright, first we analyze this item. I copy and paste some of the items that I need over here, and I set them on this page, and then we take care of the rest of the job. Okay, I'm going to use my desired font. Okay, I say bold, talk. Yep, that's right. The color is changed. It is changed to the dark one that we had before. Black. Okay. I copy this and paste it here. The bold section, I want to thicken the font like this, make it thick, and I am going to set it at semi-light. Alright, that's up to now. I don't want it to be identical to the original. I just want to have a blueprint. This is the menu on top of the application. Okay, I can copy and paste it directly here so that I would be able to work with it, and I would do my best so that I change the fonts one by one to my desired font, like this. Well, it didn't change. Once more, and copy and paste like that. Okay, and finally the track item like this. Well, that's up to here. We see some techniques that have been applied on these layers. For instance, the slider section shadow, you can notice how it has been designed. We are going to see what techniques have been used in this particular design of ours. Alright, I copy this It is very easy. We have already had something similar before. It is an image with transparent background and round corners. As you see, it is an image. As you see, it is an image. In fact, the border that has been chosen for it is like this. It is an image along with the border. In this border, we have the 20 corner radius, and it is an image, and this image has been set over here. It is not a difficult thing to do and to apply. Very simple and very easy, but we are going to see how the shadow in the background has been designed. Here I choose the coloration. In this project, I am going to use the color. Color is green. Okay, it's green, and I copy this like that. Okay, now we are going to analyze the items at the bottom and see how they are. And here it is said, you see the face of Malala Yousafzai, the Nobel Peace Award winner. I don't want to have borders, corner radius, he said, at 50. And the color I give it is green. Beautiful eyes. I copied these. Yep. And I copy this but smaller. Okay, like that. And finally, I set these over here. Okay. As you see, these are gray. Yeah. We can take care of the job. I can give them the gray color, a bit lighter, like this. Yep, that's right. Okay, that's up to here. Of course, we need to reduce the size a bit. How? Let's see. Down to here. Very well. And now I am going to set up the shadow in the background. I am going to design this section around the lips. If you pay attention, this section, I zoom out a bit. You see, as you see, if I move this up, this is a rectangle. Yep, if I reduce its value, as you see, it is a rectangle with the amount 19. Like a shadow has been designed, and if you change the opacity, you are going to get your desired effect. Okay, so what I do is here at the bottom, I draw a rectangle with a smaller width without borders. And the color would be this black color that I choose here. And the opacity is set at 20. Okay, and the object blur section is selected and set at 15. And this is set at bottom of this item, so I choose the option average and send to back, so that exactly I will have what I want. Okay, these items are set a bit lower, so that I will be able to see the image like I want it to be. And in the end, we have the top speaker and the news list section. And from this top speaker, like that, I set it here. I change the font to, let's see, what do I change it to? SF dash Pro. And the next items in the top of speaker, we have 3 rectangles which are the same. As you see, they are images. Here we can have these images with the PNG suffix on our project. And the other steps are quite easy, so don't worry. We're gonna to take care of them one by one. That is, from inside this, I'm going to copy these images and take care of the rest of the project. Okay, that's up to here. I don't want it to have a border. I change the border radius to number 30 and the number I want it to have. Okay, scratch nose. That's right. Well, we can choose different colors. Like that. Okay. Let's see, double them. That's right, that's how to approach it. The right way to do it. Okay. Well, that's it. That's up to here. And finally the image at the bottom, I choose the average option. And this one, and this is moved over here. Okay, like that. Very well. Let's move up and see how it is. This one. Okay, needs to be with corners. I give it number 20. This one receives 20. This one is 30, so we need to change it to 20. And this one is the same. And finally, what I do is here we can enlarge the image like this, so that it would be fitted inside this frame. Yeah, looks like a peasant with that smile. That's up to here. So now we know that this item is designed like this, and the rest is the same. Okay, that's it, and it is very simple. Designing these items is really simple, and you can master it through practice. Okay, here the peasant guy with a smile who is pretending to be a good speaker. I adjust his background like that. Tony Robbins, and he has a name. This one is changed to color pink, Kelly pink. Okay, this one is changed to the same, but the green is chosen for this one, like that. And finally this one, like this, but the color blue is chosen for it. Okay, very well. I return it to where it was, like this image in the same manner. Okay, and this one as well. Very well. I erase this, make a copy from this one, and set it over here. We have been able to design the topic section, and now I'm going to set the names inside this list. Okay, so that we can see how they are. Very well, in the follow-up we are going to complete the rest of the work here. We are going to have the new list. The new list is designed like the rest of the items. It is very similar to designing other items with a little bit of effort. We can design that and we can have what we are looking for. Okay, now I set this here. I change the font, Pro Display, and this one is set at medium, and this one is set at medium as well, so that we can have a more aesthetically presentable result. And finally here, as you can see here, we have two lists and we have some differences in the list here. I designed the two lists here. Kosher. Here it's set like that, so that I can add the menu to it at the bottom. Of course, I need to move them a bit. It doesn't need border. The corner radius is set at 20 with the background as well. The colors that we had before, this one. Very well, I make a copy out of this. I set it here. And finally, the menu that we are going to have down here, I move them up a bit. Yep. So that we can have more space for the rest of the items. Okay, it is alright. This one too, and this one I move it up a bit like that, so that we are able to have the desired space. Alright, that's it. Very well. We do it in this fashion, and finally the images that we desire. This image and this one. Okay. I zoom in a bit so that we can have what we are looking for. I give it round corners, 20 and 20. And of course 20 is a bit too much. If I give it 5, it would be much better. Alright, and this one is in the same fashion but a bit bigger, so that I can have the desired effect. Okay, very well. With 20, in fact what I do is to set this picture there like that, and this one is set here like this. Very well. I erase this and make a copy from this and set it here like that, but I don't want to have the same background. Okay, I am going to use this background. Very well, and finally the menu bar that we have here. In fact, the menu bar over here, what we are going to do is to design it. We need 4 icons, which I copy from this image. So finally here, that is set here, and this one is the same. Okay, we don't want it to have a border. Regarding the corner radius, I set them at 20, and this one 20, and now here we can give it a shadow. Okay, so that we will have the desired result. Like this. Very well. And that's it. If you pay attention, this is set under images. So here we need to do the same thing. That is here from the top, I get the items like this and move them down there and finally up to here. Okay. And these ones, we move them a bit like that, and these parts the same fashion. I set them a bit higher so that we will be able to have access to them. Okay, the shadow is set here. The reason for this is because we have the shadow here, but there is no shadow in the picture. And like the item that we had here, we are going to use a shadow, but right now we aren't going to make them identical. You noticed how it is designed once, how the shadow is designed. I am going to reduce the size a bit. Like that, so that it looks more natural. Very well. The next item that we are going to make are these 4 icons. Alright, like that. Here I paste them, and the image is very simple. We had the sample. I am not going to further explain it because we have dealt with the same image several times before. Like that, okay, and I am going to take care of the alignment like this so that we can see where everything is. And finally the play button, and the play button can be set up quite simply like this here. We set it here. Okay, we don't want it to have a border. I am going to use this color, or the green color that I had on my mind. Okay, I use the icon inside it and the shadow. Okay, the shadow that we have on our mind. Alright, very well. And finally, I am going to set it over here so that it is exactly at the center. Well, now how is the shadow that we wanted to have? I make a copy out of this. I make the color dark with a smaller size. The opacity is set at 20. Okay. The value is set at 10, but the opacity is a bit larger. And finally, this is set at send to back. Okay. So that I will be able to have it at the back. I increase the size a bit. Like that. Like this. And I need to increase the opacity so that it will show how it looks. Very well. I click on it, arrange send to back on this item. Okay. Very well. Okay, of course here there is a little bit of problem. You need to get proficient through practice and get well versed on this topic. Like this. Very well. Okay, very well. I set the opacity as this, like that. This one is set here, the send to back option, and like this, the number is set at 10, and here I choose the same opacity. So up to here we realized how they work. And finally the tooltip that we are setting here, how are they designed? As you see, it is a rectangle. The color is set on the object blur option, and if we make it paler, as you see, we will get to that item, which is the blue color with the brightness that has been given to it and the rectangle. We have realized this item, so we can easily do it using the background blur. So what I do is, in the same fashion, I set the file over here. Okay, I change the color. Yeah, as black. Right. Here I set the color, and the brightness is set at 0. Amount is set like this. And the corner radius is set at 50. Okay, and I make a copy out of this. I set it over here, and the color is changed to white. with a bit of smaller size, and this one is okay. I can move it exactly here to the center. Okay, TD. All right. Like this, and of course I can do something else. I can give it a border, but the border needs to be white, and I reduce the opacity. The opacity is set at the opacity of the background. If I set it as blue here, in fact the amount section would be set like this, and like that the border that I want would be realized. I can even delete the border to achieve my desired effect. So up to here we analyzed the job and realized how things are designed. Here we take care of the rest of the job in the coming session. Very well, in the previous video we saw how we can design the main page with its different details, and we analyzed it. Now by clicking on each of these top speakers, we are going to have their own view. Here we have a blank view, and each one of these top speakers has their own items and menus, and now we are going to analyze them and design their specific pages. I make a copy from this and design the rest of the items inside it, and I am going to design something similar. Very well, so here I remove the extra items that are over here like that to the bottom until I have a blank page. And if you pay attention, this is a background that is on our main page. I copy the code and add it here, and then set the fill as the same as background. The difference is that the item on topics white, that is, we are here going to have the same item plus these few items. So here I delete this and do the copy and pasting. It is a rectangle with a radius corner of top right and top left. The number 55 is given to them. So we can apply the same thing here with the size almost here. I can have this item here. We don't need a border. Only the value of 55 is given to it, so that I will be able to have something similar plus these items that I have over here. So finally what I do is I set something like that here with the border. Okay, 50, and the color gray. Alright, without any border. Okay, that's up to now. Now it is a little pale. Yeah, it is a little pale. Okay, I need to choose this color for it. Okay, I set it at the center of the screen, and I can take care of the rest of the items. Okay, the item that we have here, there are some explanations. Duaram Epsum, which is a plugin that you can install. Lorem Ipsum is very useful. Lorem Ipsum, as you see, it's here being applied. So we have this like that, and a few information. I can remove the information like that inside this page, like that, and finally from here I copy this item. Okay, yeah, well, and set it over here. Okay, that's it, up to here, and finally like this. So this image is extra, I delete this. Okay, and increase the size like that, and set it at the center of the screen on this page according to this border. Should be larger and with the same size, so that I will be able to use the contents that I want similar to this one with a few differences. And finally the lorem ipsum, that is over here, a text that has been predefined, so that you can get it from the internet and see what it is. Very well, that's up to here. And finally the bar that is over here, we can have it. So I go down, I draw a rectangle here so that it looks like the play button. Here we are going to design the timeline of the work. You don't want it to have a border. Here I give it number 50, and along with it a shadow like that. Here, but here like this, we set the position at 0, and the blur is set at here on 16. Okay, and from here we use the play button to speed up the project. We set it exactly here like this, and there is nothing special. We just need to have the font. Okay, have the desired font, and that's it. Okay, so okay, here I type dash probe display. I copy this and set it here, paste it over here. And these items, the time is set at semi-bold, and the color that it has is dark, and a low opacity is chosen. I increase the opacity a bit. The topic is the same. I change the color to dark so I can see how it is. Alright, and I set it down there. so that I will be able to use it. I move it up a bit, and this section, the play section, I set it up. Okay, and in fact I set it here. That's up to here. So in case we click on Tony Robbins, the peasant looking guy with a smile, this page should be shown to us on the back button that we have here. We need to have the back button on this app and design it there. Here is the play button, but if you have paid attention, here there is a timeline bar that we can design, which is very easy to do. Each one of these are a rectangle, and we can easily design them using two tools. One of them is Paint tool, and the other, as is famously known, is Line, with round corners that we can use from this section. So here I do the same thing, that is using the line that is over here. Imagine this item over here, I set it on here. When I zoom in, you realize how it is when it is on top of this item. The corners are sharp, and when it is set on the round corners, then the corners will turn be round. So but cap like this and round cap like this, and I can change the color to green, and the size that it has here can be 2, so that I have it here. Okay, very well, that's up to now. And very well, here we reduce the size. I guess it is much better now. This one is set over here. Very well. Okay. Good. Very good. And as you notice, using the line gadget or tool, we can design it. Okay, again, I design it here so that we realize how things are designed. We set it on round cap, and we can set it at 3, the green color that is used here. Now, based on this image that you can see over here, we have the timeline bar or sound, that by playing we can have the animation format. So here what we do, I zoom in a bit here, we reduce the size like this. I copy it several times. Alright. Set it at the center. Okay. Again, I use these 2 items. I copy them. I use these 2, 5, copy, so that I can keep the large sizes. Okay, like this. And as you see, we can have something similar to this. and design those items. Okay, so we do the same thing. Okay, like this. I set it over here. Like this, we make the copies for each one. And yeah, I copy these two, move them over here. Now the end. Okay. And now let me finish this so that we can improve the appearance. Okay. This one is set over here, and of course this empty space is filled with these items like this. Okay. Okay. Then, in fact, we move the items forward to here to have them aligned. That is, when the alignment is right, the job would look much more appealing and exciting. This one is like this, up to here. So up to here we have designed the page, and now by clicking Tony Robbins we are going to be redirected to this page. Thank you very much. Well, we get on with the work and see how we can do it. I want to connect this through auto animate transition, and the back button that we have here, I zoom in a bit so that I will be able to find what I am looking for. I move it to this page like this and auto animate. Very well. I save the page and I click the play here to see how it is. Very well. Let's see. It is being beautifully played out. There is something else we can do. We can set the background based on the type of border that we have here, like this. And I need to make these items darker, black, like this. Very well, that's up to here. And finally this part. I need to make them into the same color. Okay, so that we can work with them. I set the fill as dark. Of course we can copy the other items to take care of this problem, but up to here we can have access to our items. Let's see how things are till now. I hit play and click on this. As you see, it looks like this now. And now if we want to take care Of the rest of the job, we need to make a copy and then move on. I make a copy from this, and the items that we need to have here, and the green color that we have here. Okay, very well. Here, like this. Very well, the background here, if we want to change this easily, we can use this. And this one is the same fashion, using the P color tool. We can remove the color code. And of course, these items need to be changed. I copy from here. And this one, the border that we have given to this is set on the green button, and have each one of these need to be sent to their own pages. These pages need to be made here or moved here. The back button, the main page, and from here to the third page. And the back button to the main page, I play the work to see how things are. Well, and this one is the first page. Very well, so up to here we have designed the timeline. Now we are dealing with the topics page. On the topics page, we can change this section to the topic to be able to enter the page that we want. And here it is a lot easier, of course. I have on my mind this section, the details section. So here what I do is to design the detail page for each one of these like that by hitting the page here or no. Let's see. In fact, here we can have the details here or not. Of course, we can have the search page, find, and even this one, that is the menu bar, can be designed here. So right now here we do it, we change the details page and then we design the menu bar. So at first we design the detail page, and each one of these images need to have their own details. Here this is the detail page for that item that I am going to design. Let's see what we have here. We have details. Here are details plus the border that is here, and the timeline that is next to object player. And this item has been designed, so here we set up this section. Instead of now playing, I set details to see a smile. I send to S, now can, and now we need to apply the changes here. That is this one plus this one time. Am I going to paste them here? I am. going to reduce the size, set it over here, and this one in the same fashion is set over here. And finally these items, and of course I need to give it a color, give the color to the background. I increase the opacity to have a different color for the background. Okay, and of course I reduce the size like this. Here we can have it. And now I am not going to make the identical page to the detail page. We want to have some differences. Here we can have the lesson button, and these sections over here I can have them here like this. Of course this section needs to sit somewhere else. We need to have some changes over here, and these three like this. And now I can have the play button here, that is this one. In fact, what I do is here, I set it here. We can apply some changes. Okay, like this, not okay, and the color is changed to the color that it is. And now the differences are more obvious. And now this section needs to be erased. I am not going to need it, and I guess now we have the page that we were looking for. The only difference is we need to move this one here. The text needs to be moved here, and the play button is at the bottom. So now by hitting this item, we are going to open this detail page, and by clicking on the back button, I am going to go back to this page. I have the auto animate, and I am going to have this. So once more I play the page to see how things are. By clicking on this page, I am going to be redirected here like this, and this one to the main page. Okay, as you see, there are three are working properly, 3 pages. That's the page that we wanted for the details section. And finally the timeline bar that is showing itself as the background blur. We apply the same thing, so what we do is to copy the background, or we can use this. Here we need to have the same theme. So the items that are set here, we need to take care of the colors. I set the opacity like this, and I increase the font so that the user can see all the details. I click on timeline, the background blur option, and finally the value of the opacity is set at 5. brightness is set on 0, and the amount, as you see, because the background is a constant color, we can see anything special unless I am going to move the type section over here. If I move it here, it would be much better in the appearance. As you see, like this, and this one is the page that I had on my mind. I play the work again to see the final result. Okay, here like this, up to very well. So up to here we have succeeded in designing the detail section of the page. Hi, in the follow-up we get to the last section of this user interface. In this section I am going to design this artboard and see what shapes it contains and what forms. A lot of these sections are repetitive. We have dealt with them before. Here I am going to deal with those sections of the work that need more time, and we can have most items in a more creative way. The other item that I am going to cover here is that after designing the artboard, I am going to deal with the menu, and on this menu set the details and see how we can design the menus. Okay, so from this page I make a copy, I set it on the next to the files that I have here. Okay, and from this I make a copy and start the job. I keep the constant and delete this view because I won't need them and I am going to design them myself. Okay, I save the page and we go to the main job. Okay, it is quite easy. We have such a border here that contains 40 corner radius. So here I design it with this size, and here I don't want it to have a border. I can use the same color. I use this color, paler. I can use this color code, but I don't want my design to be identical to the example. I change the corner to 40 and set it exactly here, and now I copy this, and now this section, the menu that we had designed here, I make a copy out of it and I set it inside this page. I delete this item and set this over here. Okay, and I set the name of this page as topic. Now I imagine this section of the menu is the topic. Okay, so after we have designed these, we get to the menu. I change the color to green with the minimum of the color, and now the items are designed. First we need a circle like this so that we can design the items. that are inside. I don't want to have a border, and the opacity is set at the number 30. Okay, and this one is set exactly at the center of this first topic. We change the size. So here I set this on top here, and the next item I copy this again with a 100 opacity. I reduce the size and set it on top so that I can have exactly what I desire, and I make a copy from this image and set it here. Now I can copy and paste it, and I zoom in a bit so that I will be able to have what I got on my mind up to here, and the values are set at 40 like this, and we analyze here to see how things are. I increase the size of the image to get what we want. So up to here we have designed the first topic, and now we are going to design the lower sections in order to speed up the process. I would do my best to use the copy and paste in order to get my desired effect. This one is set here. As I said, I don't want my artboard to be identical to the one we have. We apply the changes on the images and the buttons that we have, and finally we design the lesson button like this. I don't want it to have a border. The corner is set at 50. And this one is set at the center so that my work looks more exciting. And finally, the play button, and I can get the play button from here and set it on the work like this. I need to decrease the size. I do it and decrease this in size so that I will be able to, so that I get the desired size and what I am looking for very well, like this. It looks a little bad. I copy this and set it here like that. Okay, I zoom in a bit to see how things are. This is exactly at the center. The color of the play button is changed like this. And finally, the value lesson is to it. And this one up to here, of course, we need to design the shadow that we have here. As you see, when we get to a certain point, the whole job turns into copy and pasting, which is fine quite easily. We can use these options because on many occasions we don't need to design the items again one by one, and we use the ones we have already designed. I reduced the opacity, I set it on 30, and this one is set exactly here like that to get what we want. Okay, I increased the opacity a bit, and also the amount is set at 8 and the opacity is set at 40, and finally I set it exactly here. Of course, if you pay attention, now this object is set on top of it. Now I set the opacity at 100 and decrease the amount. As you see, this item is on top, whereas in the arrange section needs to be set on the back to front, and even the play button, that is the play button, needs to be on all of these. I choose bring to front, and this one is sent to back. Okay, and this one needs to be set on the back, that is this back layer needs to be sent to back. Okay, so now this is the layer, it is under this layer. I want to set it exactly here. So this layer and this one is set at bring to front, and finally this one is set over here. So now I apply my desired changes, set the opacity at 40, and set this one at 5. And finally, now we can get the desired result like this. I change the amount like this, set it on 6, and change the opacity a bit. And what I do in fact is I change it like this. Okay, so up to here we have managed to include and design the topics, and the lower section is the same. I can copy and paste it for the lower part and set it here like this, like that. I set it here, and I just want a change of color. That is, I set green here, and listen, in the same fashion, quite simply and quickly, we took care of the designing of this section of the job and set it up. But we get to the menu at the bottom. We don't want the menu to be as simple. We want to have the asterisk as a topic by clicking on it. We want to have an animated menu on this item. So what I do is I set this section along with these items here. Imagine it is exactly here, and this one is set here, and finally the home section that is here. I am going to set the home here. As you see, we need to set it exactly here, like that. And now this one is set at the center so that I can see how things are. I need to change the color to green and the background that it has. This one is to change to the exact green that we have here. And finally, the home button that needs to have the green color. Instead of home, I need to write topics. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Yeah, right, it is home. So by clicking this button, I need to get what I have on my mind. So quite simply, I remove these a bit so that I get my desired effect. This one is set over here. And now I can have what I want. We move on with the rest of the job in the next video. Okay, in the previous video we noticed how we can design the topic. And now we are going to apply the animation and see how it can be animated. Okay, so finally, quite simply, if I click on the artboard section, like this, if I reduce the size like this so that I move to this page, and now if I want to move on with the project a bit more, here we can have an item as a topic. But no, let's just focus on this part. And see how it is. And now if I click on this, now I click on this. And I want to go back to this page again and have this page shown to me. I set the transitions as auto animate. And this item in the same fashion is set on auto animate. To see how it is, I play it to see how it works. Okay, now I need to include the animate and change them a bit. Again, let's see how things are. Very well, let's see. Tab, auto animate, easy out, 3. Tab. And this one is set on easy out 3 so that I have what I want. I play it again. And this one is set on easy out 3. Yeah, again it is showing the same item, but now for these are what I want. Okay, let's check and see how it is. Okay, there was no special problem. The thing is, I guess the action related to the animation that is here, the auto animate section, is working well. I guess it is working differently on these. Now, let me set this on bounce and see how the result would be. Up to here, we are almost done. Or just a few items. the menu, and we have designed the menu. So up to here we have succeeded. In designing the pages related to the required items, and we notice how these items have been designed. And you need to keep practicing so that you can design really good items and user interfaces. Of course, I need to re-emphasize the fact that you should not suffice to designing. On many occasions, some idea might occur to you, and you may want to change that idea to a design. Before doing that, you need to design the wireframe or the mock-up. First, on a piece of paper, have a very simple design, and after you have designed the wireframe and the hierarchical designs, then after that, go to the Adobe XD software and take care of your designs. I hope you have good luck with your designing experience.